Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. Of course, with my limited mind, I could never, you know, truly describe what or who Maharaj is. And when he says, I am, I was, and I will be. But with my own experience and what I've been taught by Maharaj, it's simply going back to his own saying that he is the divine light. He is Nur. And that light exists in everything, and it's in you and me. And it was, it will be, and um, the it's the existence really. And so it's not limiting to Maharaj to a form or um, to a body or um, to one path. It's um, everything and all. So Maharaj is always with us. Maharaj was always with us, even with my own experience. Um, when I was initiated by Maharaj and he got me to go back, and I could see him not only in this lifetime, but he blessed me to see many lifetimes from the past in dream state, in that dimension. I don't want to say in a dream because, as we know, it's a reality, and it's just a different dimension. And you realize that he has always been, of course, not just with us, with our relationship, but um, just this universe. It's all him. It's all energy, and he is that, and it will always be. So Shukrana for him, that we don't have to look anywhere. We don't have to be anywhere. We don't have to attend anything. He is in all, in everything, um, within us and outside, formless and with form. So this is what my limited, experience and understanding and the wisdom that he's given me, because he ultimately, it's all him giving that. And you realize that he's also in that wisdom. He's in this body, in this breath, he is in the form that he came into. He is in your mother, he is in your father, he's um, in the animals, in the plants, he is in all and everything. You witness Maharaj in everything when you truly fall in love and see that Noor. Um, Shukrana to him when I was bedridden. I think it was 2015, 2016. I don't remember exactly when. He blessed me with seeing the actual Noor, which I thought for a moment that it was the moon, but then it changed. It kept changing and becoming smaller, and it suddenly entered my room. And Shukrana to him, he blesses you to witness that Noor. And he decides, when this curtain is lifted and you can actually physically see it. Um, but ultimately, going back to his own saying, he is the Noor, he is light, and there's probably more to it than I will never know, and only he knows who truly he is. But Shukrana that he's chosen us, Shukrana that we have been, um, especially in this Kali Yuga, being chosen by the Divine Master himself. And, at every moment, feeling his presence, that truly you just have to connect with your heart. And he's there, and he's always been there, and he'll always be there, and we'll always be there, because we're part of that light. It's endless. Like, we're soul, and we are him. He is us. And ultimately, he will always be. So much shukrana, so much shukrana. So if I have Agya, should I start the satsang?
Thanks a lot for your beautiful explanation, son and son Bitia. I will never say you auntie, son Bitia. You are my daughter. You have explained very beautifully, really. So please go ahead now.
Before I start, Shukrana Maharaj, I do want to say, I'm so grateful to a multilingual page, because it has been so beautiful in bringing everyone together. And, of course, we realize that with Maharaj, it doesn't matter in what, we're not limited also because he's not limited. So no matter what culture, no matter what creed, no matter um, what religion you're born into, we're all one. And how this divine page has brought everyone so much shukrana to all the sevadars, Uncle G and everyone. Ultimately, he is in all of you, and show so much shukrana to Guruji Maharaj for blessing us all with the Shukrana multilingual page. And it's been beautiful, reciting the books, and especially in Farsi, Persian language. Um, it's incredible. The autobiography of yogis, reading it in Persian. I'm not sure if there's anyone seeing it, but other than me, but I'm sure Guruji says there's going to be a time where a lot of people will. It's not for now. These are being recorded for a reason beyond our understanding now. And I know with Persian language, many people I know, I forwarded it to few of my friends, and it's tremendous. It's changed lives. So much shukrana. His grace is so evident in this divine page. So much shukrana. So thank you, Guruji, because I think, before Maharaj, life was difficult for me, before him entering my life. But after Maharaj entering my life, the only difficult thing that I can say has been, because anything is possible with Maharaj, nothing, you become so fearless and you can do anything because ultimately he is doing through you. You understand nothing is you. But the only difficult thing I can say that exists is talking about his grace. That's the only difficult thing in life now. It can't be. I mean, no matter how hours and hours we talk about his grace, millions of satsangs, it won't be enough. So much shukrana. I want to share satsangs, recent satsangs that haven't been, of course, just recently happened. And we'll go to the most recent, and then whatever Maharaj has guided me. I've written them down. But I may go here and there, so please forgive me. That's my nature. A thought will come. He puts it in me, and then I'll talk about it. So the recent satsang is that about in September, Maharaj kept placing a destination in my mind. I had no reason to travel. I was not even thinking about travel. Maharaj has not guided me at all, has not given me agya to this day to get vaccinated. That was something that it might change tomorrow, but he didn't give me agya to get vaccinated. And travel was one of the last things that, for an unvaccinated person, was something that, was not even in my mind, let's just say. And if there was any destination in my mind, it was India, and that was the only list that I had. I didn't, we go from all these desires and all the things that we want to experience to just, for me, it was just India. And that was the only destination that I wanted to travel. But truly, with Maharaj, you don't need to go anywhere, as we talked about. The true destination is that inner destination, that it's him. He's the ultimate destination, and that's where we want to reach. And once you have Maharaj, it's like, it doesn't matter where you go, where you are, who you're with. It's all good. So India was the only thought that I had, but suddenly Maharaj said, go to Costa Rica. And he placed this country in my mind, and it was just like, Maharaj, are you telling me to go to Costa Rica? And it's in South America. And Maharaj twice, nobody knew this, only Maharaj knew. And again, I always say this in satsangs, we only have to go to Maharaj. Going to this person, that person, it's just pointless. So I sat with Maharaj and I said, Maharaj, there's this thought in my head that, this country, do you want me to travel? And he said, yes, go to Costa Rica. Two Sangat reached out to me and told me to go without them knowing. So he sent his messages, and the last message was one night I was sitting with Maharaj. I was like, Guruji, I don't need to do anything. I don't need a vacation. I'm with you. Every day is vacation. Every moment is vacation. I want to be uh, what you want. This vessel is yours. You do whatever you want to do. And just let me know this is your thought. This is not my thought. And suddenly he gave me a vision of this auntie. I had not spoken to this auntie. She lives in Netherlands. And suddenly that afternoon, the same Sangat, we hadn't spoken in months. The same Sangat didn't even say Jaigur, nothing. She just sent me a quote and it said, if you're looking for an evident, direct, a clear sign, this is it. And that was how Maharaj indicated by putting that woman into that auntie into my vision, and the message came. Of course, this is him. And so I packed my bags and I went to Costa Rica. Didn't know a soul, didn't know anyone, didn't speak Spanish, didn't know nothing. But I have to say, for whatever Maharaj wants you to do, he will provide everything for that task to be completed. Financial, just anything, anything that you need, it will be provided. And that was it. He provided everything, and I got on Airbnb and I booked a room in this beautiful home, shared a room, and I had no idea where I was going, but Maharaj said go. So I went, and I literally went on October the 9th. I was supposed to stay till January 5th, but Maharaj told me you have to fly back on October 30th, which was yesterday. And so I showed the satsang at the airport. I got to the airport. I had some fragile items in my luggage. And so I asked the agent, I want to put a fragile sticker on my luggage because I had some broken items, some things in my luggage. And she said, you can't sure, no problem. We can't throw the luggage out from the regular carousel. It has to go to the special carousel. So, somewhere else. I said, no problem. So got my ticket, everything, boarding pass, go to that aisle, and I'm standing there and there's a long lineup. And I was there enough time, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before my flight. So 40 minutes, 30 minutes passes by, and I'm like, this line doesn't move. And then they tell us after 35 minutes that there's a problem with the belt. So nothing was going down their carousel. So Maharaj said, son, go back to the regular counter. Otherwise, you're going to miss your flight. And I'll tell you, if it was 30 seconds, and I mean it, 30 seconds later, if I hadn't listened to Maharaj, I would have missed my flight. He said, go back to the regular and just send your luggage down at the regular carousel. So I went to the regular agent, back to the same place that I was in. And the girl said, sorry, you won't make it. There's no way you will make it. You can go, but your luggage won't make it. And of course I needed my luggage. I don't know a soul in this country, and I don't know where I'm going, and I need my stuff, and all these things that you need your things. And especially because I was in the winter attire and I was going somewhere very hot, so it's like you need your stuff. And but anyway, so she said your luggage won't make it, but you can go. Just go to the gate. If we'll tell you at the gate, be the last person that boards the aircraft. So I want to pause here for a moment. Before my travel, Maharaj told me to change your seat. My seat was already decided by the airline. So Maharaj, a day before, when I did my 24-hour before check-in, Maharaj said, change your seat. And he changed it. It wasn't me. I didn't say, Guruji, my finger went onto another aisle, fixed that seat. And if anything, I should have kept the initial seat because it was number 13. And 13, of course, as we know, is a divine number. But he got me to change it. And I was at the front of the aircraft. I sat all the way at the end. To the logical mind, it doesn't make sense. Like, why are you changing? But Maharaj does what he wants to do because he only knows everything. We don't know nothing. As he says, when you stop thinking, I'll start thinking. And that was the moment that I had to stop thinking, and it happened. And he thought for me, and he changed the seat. And so so anyway, I go to the boarding gate. They tell me your luggage probably won't make it. You go to Costa Rica. We'll send you the luggage to your home. And I just said, you know what, Maharaj, whatever you want. how I won't say I wasn't worried. I was worried, but it's instant. And then he shifts your perception. You know, he just changes everything, that nothing in this life happens without your will. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Maharaj says, when the guru comes in your life, nothing is your choosing. Nothing. And he specifically said this to Linda, Anita Linda auntie, who lives in Toronto. And I remember the first time that I met her, she said, you know, now that Maharaj is in your life, nothing is your doing, nothing is your choosing. And so I remember that at that moment, that whatever is happening is your choice, whatever, there's a reason, whatever you want. So I went on the flight, and in my heart of my hearts, I knew Maharaj is taking care of everything. I sat on my seat, the aircraft flew, we got to Costa Rica, and suddenly we're waiting in the term, like we're waiting for the aircraft doors to be open, and we're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and all of a sudden Maharaj puts my face down the window. I was looking out the outside, and suddenly my face goes down, and my seat was exactly where the luggage compartment door is below, like how he changed my seat. So I could be a witness of his divinity, that the airline had said there's no way your luggage will make this flight. There's no way. I mean, it won't. And it was a Saturday. It's super busy in the airport. For the luggage to travel all the way to the aircraft, it won't make it in 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And truly, it was an impossible matter. But with Maharaj, the impossible is possible. The impossible is always possible. Sorry for the noise out there. We have a lot of animals in this house. It's a parrot talking. Sorry. So so then I just look down, and I see the first one of the first luggages that comes out is mine. My luggage is coming out, and how he changed my seat, so I could be witness of his divinity. There's no small or big satsangs for me. There's absolutely not a big. I'm not going to limit Maharaj that, oh my God, this is such a small mat. It's a satsang, and it's huge. Even if I see 777 in the car, it's a satsang. Outside, it's a satsang for me. So much shukrana. So 2 days later, I'm in Costa Rica, and the logical mind hit. You forget, as human beings, you forget. Maharaj has sent you here. He's already, you know, indicated you're here because, you know, he wants you to be here. So leave your mind, as he says, leave your ego, the control, the doubt, and see the real wonders. I had forgotten about it. I'm human. I forgot. And suddenly I sat with Maharaj in the morning. I woke up, and I have to say, it was 3 years that I had not woken up, Shukrana to his grace, with anxiety attacks. That morning, I woke up with anxiety. Like, what am I doing here? I did not understand. It wasn't like India. I know Sangat, okay, Maharaj. It was like, you know, my limited mind kicked in, logic, so much doubt. And I just got up and I said, Maharaj, I looked at Maharaj. I just took one small swaroop, but, and I was like, Maharaj, is it you that asked me to be here? Like, you know, I'm just in this. Why am I in this feeling? I haven't, Shukrana to you, I haven't experienced these panic attacks. Before Maharaj entered my life, for 6 years, I had daily panic attacks. Daily, daily. And those 3 years that I was bedridden, it was just so horrific that, you know, for me to experience it after Maharaj has initiated me, after 3 years, it was so much, even though it was maybe this much of that anxiety that I had that morning in Costa Rica. And I just said, Maharaj, you just indicate, you know, that I'm here for you. So I was like, you know what? He said, son, just get up. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. He injected that wisdom in me. Just go do something else. So I was like, I'm gonna go make breakfast. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move and get out of this sitting and thinking. Just do something different. I went outside, and the villa is owned by a woman. Her name is Isabella. And Isabella, the only day that she came out to say good morning to me in Spanish, so she came out that morning after I had that conversation with Maharaj, and she kept saying buenos dias, buenos dias, buenos dias repeatedly. Like, I come to you and I keep telling you good morning, good morning, good morning. Like 10 times she said it. And I was like, okay, I got it. good morning, good morning. And I thought that she's teaching me Spanish. And I was like, I already know buenos dias means good morning. But anyway, so she kept repeating it, not knowing that everything happens for divine will. Maharaj is doing something that I'm not understanding at the moment. She kept saying that. And she left, and never did it happen after that or before that day. So then I sat, had my breakfast, and I was like, you know what? Let me listen on YouTube. Let me listen to some shabads for this chatter to stop. And then I came to on my YouTube to click on a shabad. The first video that popped up on my YouTube was this spiritual, this preacher who I've been listening to. I used to, whenever I was guided, I would listen to this preacher. He's Christian, but for me, it doesn't matter. For us, it doesn't matter. It's all one anyway. And um, what I love about his talks is that he doesn't say Jesus, Jesus. Like he talks, he says God, and it's very broad, and it just resonates with my heart. And I've been listening to this man, and every talk of his, he starts with a joke. Every session that he has, in front of thousands of people. So that morning, and again, I've been listening to him for a year and a half. His jokes are always different. So this joke that he gave that day was so different, and I'd never heard it. But that morning, how Maharaj chose his joke and how Maharaj spoke through him. Remember I had said to Maharaj, I just want you, I just want to know that it is you who's brought me here, I want this to stop. And what he does, Maharaj, to get you to stop warring instantly, as if he has nothing to do but to attend to you. So I open this, my hands go on it. Remember, I was not even going to, I was going to listen to Shabbat. He gets me to open this YouTube page, and this man says, before I start my preaching, I'm going to share a joke. There was a black man and a white man. I have to tell you the joke for the satsang. And they're fighting all their life when they're in the physical body that God is white, and the black man says, no, God is black. White, black, white, black. And they happen to die at the same time, and they go to heaven, and they're standing in heaven, and they say, oh, perfect, now God will come and we'll know if he's white or black. And God walks in, and God says, buenos dias. And I was like, what did he just say? I went back, rewind, and it said, God said, buenos dias. And I was like, how you do, what you do, this woman, like 5 minutes before, just, opening this YouTube account, kept saying buenos dias. How you do, what you do. So for the rest of my trip, buenos dias was like it hacked in here, tattooed in my mind that yes, in fact, it's Maharaj who's brought me here. Incredible. In this house that I went to, there were peacocks and butterfly decorations and so many of divine signs, so many of his presence. And he repeatedly told me, this is my house in Costa Rica. You've come to my house. And truly, it was so amazing. Like it was like family. It was truly Sangat, but not knowing their Sangat, divine. It was Maharaj in different forms taking me out. We're talking Airbnb. I rented a room in their villa, but they treated me like a daughter, all Maharaj. And so one day I was just out, and suddenly Maharaj said, son, cleansing your karma in this lifetime, it doesn't limit it just with people. It's also with places. I had to bring you here because I had to cleanse the karma with this country that you had. I was amazed. This was not a thought I had. I was not even thinking of Maharaj. I was not, I was not even like thinking of why I'm in. That file closed for me. I knew I'm here for a divine reason, but Maharaj told me at that moment that there was negative energy because a year before I had traveled to the same destination. It's very close to Toronto, and it's just easy to get to. And anyway, so Maharaj has since I was initiated, this was the only place that Maharaj took me twice before, to Costa Rica. The only place other than India and any pilgrim, like anywhere other than Sangat, visiting Sangat or Maharaj's temples in different destinations. Costa Rica was the only, let's say, vacation one that I went to. Otherwise, everything else was for Maharaj, all other travel. So, I had to cleanse the karma with this place. It's not just clearing karma with people. And so I heard that. I came home and I got the same message sent to me on Instagram that God, if you don't know, this was the quote that came to me. If you don't know why you're at a place, why you've traveled somewhere, it's because there's certain energies that needs to get cleansed in that area. How he confirmed his message that day through that account. Incredible. Um, and Maharaj, before I traveled, he said, read the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. I remember listening to Bambi Aunty Satsang. She mentioned, and another Sangat mentioned, that Guruji had guided for many people to read this book. And before I traveled, Guruji said, get this book. I was reading this book while I was in Costa Rica. And suddenly one day Maharaj said, you need to recite this book and reach out to this auntie. And I reached out to her. And in fact, Maharaj had also told the same auntie about son reciting this book. And this book, see, no coincidences, anything, everything is connected in our lives to the book, to the person we see, to where we go, where we sit, what we eat, what we do. Everything is decided by Maharaj. So this book is all about, I'm not going to go so much into it, but this book, Many Lives, Many Masters, is about our past lifetimes, how we come here in body repeatedly, reincarnating to learn certain lessons. And once we learn that lesson, once that task is accomplished, then this life ends. And then if Maharaj wills, we come back to another. If there's still learnings, then we have to. Let's say if in this lifetime, I have not dealt with my anger, if I have not dealt with my communication, or with lust, with greed, anything, then I have the opportunity here to do it. If not, then I have to come back in another form, in another body, to complete that learning, to finish that task. And this book talks about, if you don't complete this task here, then you have to, that dominant trait carries over to your next lifetime. But in the next lifetime, it gets harder because then you have another learning on top of it. So now there's two, like it's anger and greed, for example, where it was only greed in this lifetime. But it's also things to do. I'm sharing this because it's relevant to the satsang coming. It's also not the debt. It's not debts that you owe to other people, but also to yourself. You also come back in the body because there's certain things that you owe to yourself. That's why you come back in the body. So Guruji had guided me to read this book, recite it, and in the book it talks about debts that you owe to people. So one day Maharaj said, you owe money to these people that you are in their home. Costa Rica, 5 hours travel. Who knew that one day I would travel there because Maharaj wanted to clear my debt to these people. I owed them money. And remember, I had said I had booked my flight from October the 9th to January the 5th. Maharaj told me October 30th, you pack up and you go back. That was not at all in my plan. Everything was booked till January. The Airbnb was booked. There was no cancellation. If you canceled, you would lose your money, a portion of your money, 30 days of it. And of course, the money that you stayed, you would pay that. And Maharaj said, cancel and go. And I was like, Maharaj, I'm going to lose this amount of money. And Maharaj said, you owe this money to these people from your previous lifetime. No coincidence that this book continuously talked about it, the debts that we had to pay, and how Maharaj told me this before I and I started reading the book, and how it confirmed through this book. So there's certain things we don't understand, not certain things. For me, this is all my own experience. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. But listening to our intuition, this book is Maharaj talking. He's known as the master in this book. one of the masters, but the main master that controls things, which is Maharaj talking. And I want to share this, that the most important learning in this book that he says, actually Guruji talks and says, is patience and timing. Everything will come when it must come. Human beings have a schedule for everything they want to do. They have their own schedule, not knowing that everything will go according to the divine schedule. Everything will come when it must come. Patience and timing. Incredible, incredible. And so, Maharaj cleared that debt, and once that debt was paid, he said, now you can leave. You can leave Costa Rica. The reason why I say our karma is not just with people. If I've done wrong to somebody in my previous lifetime, I come to pay that debt. It's also with environment, with country, with places. It's beyond what we know. And Maharaj made me realize that. Last time I was in Costa Rica, a year ago, I had traveled with my previous partner, with my ex-partner, and I was absolutely not happy. Even though we were in this heavenly place, but I was not happy. There was so many things happening in my personal life. Shukrana to Guruji, because remember, it's linked. You come here in this lifetime also to pay debts to yourself that you haven't paid in your previous lifetime, and I'll share that. So last time I was in Costa Rica, I left Costa Rica in such a negative vibration. I gave it negative vibration. I was heartbroken. And how Maharaj said, I had to bring you back here because this energy had to be cleansed. I had no idea where we were last time. The bookings were last year when I traveled. It was all booked. My ex-partner had booked everything, reserved everything. I didn't even know the name of the place that we were in. Let's just put it this way. This time though, Maharaj and I booked it together, planned it together, all Maharaj. And can you believe the first day that I went to the ocean, when I stood there, suddenly Maharaj said, son, look at the other side of the ocean, that white building. You were there last year. And true to his word, without me planning, without me knowing, in this huge country, I mean, it's not that huge, but in this country where tourists go everywhere, there are hundreds of beaches, he places me exactly opposite of where I was last year. And last year I was in such negative vibration, and suddenly Guruji said, I brought you here to cleanse the energy, but also to put you in the opposite. And true to his word, he put me in the opposite place, not only in connectivity with him, not only in connectivity to myself, but in everything in such a positive vibration. So there's so much. If listen to your intuition, that's Maharaj. If he guides you to do something, leave the ifs and buts, your logic, and know that whatever he wants you to do, he will provide everything necessary for that task to be completed. It will all be provided. So it was incredible. He sent me there to also read this book that confirmed everything. Like I was living in a movie. I was reading a book, but I was living it. I was absolutely living that. My previous lifetime, while I was there, like clearing this debt that I owed to these people, and with the place Costa Rica. And once it was done, he told me to go back. While I was there in October 17th, I had the most beautiful darshan of Guruji Maharaj. Shukrana to him. I saw in his dimension, Maharaj opened the door. He came through a door. He didn't look straight right at me. He looked to his right when he came through the door. I got up. The moment I saw Maharaj, he was wearing a navy blue shirt, a t-shirt, and black pants. And I just got up and I walked to him and I hugged Maharaj. I hugged him. And I get so emotional because the hug, I still feel his skin. You know how you hug somebody, you can press on their, but you can feel the skin. I feel the skin still. That tight hug that I gave him. And that was the dream. The dream ended. I just saw myself in his presence, just hugging him like tightly. I woke up and I was so amazed that he blessed me with this um, darshan in Costa Rica. So vivid, so vivid. Um, um, okay, let's move on to I've shared that. What time is it? Okay. So I want to share another satsang that I hope I didn't miss anything. And I want to say one thing. You know Maharaj, you know everybody. Go anywhere your heart tells you to. I don't know the language. I don't know anyone. These are nonsense. You know Guruji, you know everybody. I have to say, I didn't have a phone. I was just living 21 days without a phone. When I came home, I had Wi-Fi. That's the access I had. But otherwise, I didn't speak a word. But I knew in my heart that Maharaj is there, and I don't need anybody. So one day, I ended up being on a road that I had no idea which way to go. There was 3 ways, and I was like, I didn't know a soul. I didn't know. I don't have a map. I don't have anything. I don't know what to say to anyone. Like, I want to go to this place. Suddenly, I just closed my eyes and I was like, Maharaj, I know you're with me. And I'll tell you, a girl manifested right behind me. There was just no way. No, I mean, there was nothing behind me. Nothing behind me. Where could she come from? A girl manifested, and she spoke English, which is very, very odd where I was. This time, Maharaj put me in the local place, not the tourist area. I lived like a local, true, simple life, very simple life. And I took the bus. I did everything like a local would do. And Maharaj told me, because I was Costa Rican in one of my previous lifetimes, and again, many lives, many masters. This will get, when you read the book, it'll get confirmed. So a girl manifested right beside me, and she said, I just said to her, I need to go to this place. And she said, you have to take the taxi this way. Don't worry, I'll come with you. Who does that? And especially in this country where a dollar is like huge. It's like $100 for them. And she said, don't worry about it. I'll take you. She got on the cab. She made sure she drops me off, and then they did a U-turn and went. Before I left the cab, I suddenly looked at her, and these words just came out, that you are an angel. I know you're an angel. I just knew that. I knew she was in a human body. I knew she was godly. That's all I knew. I just said it to her. Thank you, angel. Left the car, went into the house. My Wi-Fi becomes active the moment I come to the house. The first coat, and no other day, but that day, a Sangat from India sends me a quote and says, when Maharaj is with you, he places many angels around you. His ways. Another satsang I have of travel, it was in, I believe, end of 2020. Yes, Maharaj said, son, go to Dubai. I got up early in the morning. Maharaj said, go to Dubai. And I have to say, these travels are happening in pandemic. So, if anything, it's just, it's incredible. There are no limits. There's no pandemic for Maharaj. None of this exists. Vaccination, no vaccination. And remember that everywhere in the world right now, you have to be vaccinated to travel. Maharaj made Costa Rica without that law. Every country around, US, if you travel, anywhere you go, India, I can't travel because I'm not vaccinated. Well, Maharaj can change that if he wants. But only when he said go to Costa Rica, he made sure that that country does not have that law. I just had to do a PCR test before I traveled, which was perfect. So much shukrana. how he, if again, for whatever Maharaj wants you to do, he will provide everything necessary for that task to be done. Flow in life, flow. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry, because if you worry, this is not my word, if you worry, you have no faith in Guruji. Everything is in his control. That's what in the divine book of Many Lives, Many Masters, it says, nothing is in your control. And the beginning of the book starts with, everything happens for a reason. At the time when it happens, you do not have the insight or the foresight to know why. But when the time is right, you'll understand. Myself, I went through a heartbreak this year. At the time, I didn't understand it. Oh my God, when the curtain is lifted, you understand. You understand why you went through what you went through, and you become so grateful to Maharaj. Maharaj says, go to Dubai. Okay, Maharaj, if you want to, again, you listen to your intuition, but you go to Maharaj only if you're doubtful with anything, and only to him. So, Maharaj, is it you that wants me to travel to Dubai? 2 days later, I get up from bed, call Anita. Call Anita. The first word that she said was, Jai Guruji, come to Dubai. That was my confirmation. I traveled to Dubai. Again, for anything Guruji wants you to do, the financial was provided by Maharaj. Everything was provided by Maharaj. Everything. Gets me the ticket. I go to Dubai. 3 days in, 4 days in Dubai, I've seen Sangat, I'm sharing satsang, but we're not really able to go places because of the pandemic, and I'm going to Guruji. My logic kicked in. Guruji, why? And if you notice, there's a satsang that I shared with Guruji, with Anita Kumar, that it's recorded, it's on YouTube. I'm constantly touching my head and my hair. I know I have that trait, but I had such a headache. I had such a bad headache in that recording. I can't even tell you, my head was pounding. And I was in this, like, why am I here? Like, it was constant chatter here. And then anyway, Maharaj tells me one day that trip was booked from, I think, 21st of December till January the 6th, 2021. Then Maharaj one day says, after those recordings, says, son, change your ticket. You're returning back on 30th. There's a 30 number with me. I don't know what it is, but with Guruji. Return on 30th of December and go earlier. And I was like, Maharaj, if you want me to, you just let me know. You just confirm, I know you will confirm. I've learned to how to talk to Maharaj, Shukrana to his grace. He's taught me not to say, show me or send me a sign. I know that you will send me a sign. I know you will confirm. I know for whatever you want me to do, you will confirm it. You will send me that in your timing. That faith, that knowing that you have is also given by Maharaj. So I know that you'll confirm. And then I just reached out to a friend of mine in Toronto, and I said, can you see if there's a flight from Dubai to Toronto on the 30th? This person, of course, Guruji, booked the flight, not coming back and saying, yeah, son, there is a flight. Just booked it. Guruji books the flight. Now I'm saying, how do I tell Sangat in Toronto, in Dubai, that I'm leaving early? And I don't even know why I'm leaving on that day, but Maharaj has said it, and the flight is booked. So Satvachan. And so I sat with Anita the next day, and I said, Anita, I believe Guruji is asking me to leave earlier. She was like, no way, no, are you kidding? Your physical birthday is January 8th. If anything, you're actually going to stay more. You're not returning earlier. You're not returning on January 6th. You're in fact returning later, after your birthday. We want to celebrate your birthday here. And I was like, whatever Guruji says. Then I told her to keep it between us, but then, of course, as Sangat, we're family. Uh, we all shared it with everyone, and I had like so many people telling me, "Are you crazy? No, you just got here. you're leaving only 9 days in Dubai? No way. And everyone was talking. Everyone. We were in the living room in Sia's house in Dubai. And I just said, everyone stop. It was not me. I will only go to Guruji. I will only listen to Guruji. So Guruji wants to know, it's like I don't want to say testing you. He wants to see if you've got your lesson. He doesn't, and in that moment, if he knows that you got it, he doesn't, time doesn't exist for him to wait 2 hours, 2 days later to bless you. Instantly, he does. And instantly he did. Suddenly, Sia, the Sangat who Maharaj blessed us to stay in her home, Anita and I, her phone rings and it's an uncle from Dubai talking to her, and I just see Sia just look on the phone and just staring at me, and her mouth is like that. And we're thinking something horrible has happened. Something, and we're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is everything okay? And then she was like, Uncle, can you please say this in English, and can I please put it on speakerphone? And then Uncle was like, why, Auntie? And she was like, please just do this for Guruji and us. Just please, you have no idea what just happened right now. And so she places it on speakerphone, and Uncle says, Kiran Uncle says, Auntie, fine, I'll say it in English. I don't know why Guruji has asked me to call you, but I have a surgery in Toronto, and I'm flying with Emirates, and my surgery is on this date, but I must return on December 30th to Toronto, and I really need someone to travel with me. I really need someone to travel with me. I don't know why I'm calling you, but do you know anyone that traveling to Toronto on December 30th? And we were all like, Jai Guruji Maharaj, Jai Guruji Maharaj. I had never witnessed people screaming at me to going an instant to the other way, saying, Jai Guruji Maharaj, go, go. This is why Maharaj has sent you here. This is why. For Uncle. So I didn't know Uncle. Nobody knew anything of anything. Nobody knew Uncle had a surgery. I've never met this uncle in this physical life. I met him on that flight. I met him at the airport. And Shukrana to Maharaj, he blessed me to be in service to him in this form. And, I have to say, Maharaj knows what you want to experience, and he will bless you in his unexpected, unimaginable way. When I was going to Dubai, I was passing economy class. I was going to economy class, but I had to pass business class on Emirates. And as you guys know, it's a beautiful Shukrana to Guruji. It's what Guruji has created is beautiful, no matter where, economy, business, it's none of these things. And we're truly living first class with Maharaj. But when I was passing business class, I saw children sitting comfortably in these seats, comfortably. And I literally said, Maharaj, thank you for the abundance. Look at the shift of perception he blesses. This is also him. From being jealous, from being, feeling like, how come I don't have? He blesses you with such wisdom that you have Maharaj. Forget business class and first class, whatever this is. You have Maharaj. You don't want nothing. But he sees everything. Again, many lives, many masters. Every feeling, every desire, every look, every pause, every emotion, every conversation, it's all recorded. All recorded. This is why Maharaj says, I see everything. It's written in the Divine Light. I see everything. Don't ask. I will give what you need. So what happened? Maharaj saw that I was noticing his abundance, his blessings and grace for these children. And I just passed on. I was like, Shukrana that they have this space, to travel. Shukrana that this is available for your children. And I went to my economy. sitting like this, but I didn't care. And so I got to Dubai. This satsang happened, and guess what the uncle said, Kiran uncle? This whoever comes and travels with me, I have to take her on business class. I have to take her on business class because I need, for the condition that I'm in, I need the extra space in business class. So she also has to travel in business class. So Maharaj, what do I say? What do I say? How he blessed me to experience, that was something that he noticed that my child wants to experience. But it wasn't asking, it's like you don't even need to do nothing. You don't need to do nothing. So that is the Dubai satsang, and I wanted to share these recent satsangs. There is so much. There is one more that I'll share. I've shared this before on YouTube. One day Maharaj told me, son, seva is not limited to coming to Baramandir and cleaning Baramandir. Because in Baramandir, you see garbage on the floor, you see anything. It's not garbage, but you pick it up. You see empty glasses, you pick it up. Somebody needs help, you run to them. But when we come, so Guruji said, it's not about Baramandir. It's about outside. When you are outside, are you doing the same thing? So I was living in an area that it was beer bottles everywhere, water bottles everywhere. And Guruji knows my intention is not, because as he says, whatever you do, the left hand shouldn't, nobody should know, but he knows my intention. That's all that matters. It's a satsang. One day Maharaj told me, go and clean your area. It's full of, this is my seva. Imagine it's Baramandir, go clean it. And I go out, um, I think 8, 9 huge black garbage bags later. And suddenly, after I sent a prayer and I said, Guruji Maharaj, Shukrana for blessing me to do this seva. Shukrana. Because I visualized Baramandir and I'm doing this, for Maharaj. And suddenly, as I said that, I look down and I see a balloon that says, a piece of a balloon that says Jai Guruji at that moment. And this was a part of a balloon. So a year before this incident, wintertime, we had our first satsang in this house. And we had balloons that we'd written Jai Guruji. But the balloons disappeared. But so we never went after them, and how everything disappeared, but only Maharaj's name in one of the balloons, and that was him blessing and, um, you know, blessing where I was, the seva, basically just showing his presence. And this was what I saw on the ground, the last thing, and of course I kept it, and it's his holy name. I think I've shared uh, quite a bit. I think I've reached the hour, but just to say, um, you know, uh, Shukrana, just Shukrana. We are protected. Maharaj, those words that he said to my grandma, we are here to protect you. And how Maharaj guided my grandma to say this to my mom and one of my aunts before she left her body. Um, that the holy being that used to manifest in front of her talked to her, and the only words he uttered was, we are here to protect you. And for 3 years I was wondering, who's we? Maharaj, I only know you. uh, you know who's we? This question was always on my mind. Maharaj, again, patience and timing. He knows when to answer you, and the answer will come in his timing. 3 years later, when I open Many Lives, Many Masters, it's written there that it says, the masters, we are here to bless, we are here to protect. And how he confirmed that, in fact, of course, it's Maharaj, but he has different channels. He has the angels, and a lot of people um, refer to them as archangels and different gods and goddesses, and they're all there to protect us. He has his, he has them like protecting you, bodyguards all around you. But of course, as he says, we only have to connect to Maharaj. And once we connect to Maharaj, we're connected to all. He is, he'll always will be, he was. And by connecting to the divine light, we're connecting to all. So when you bow to Maharaj, you're bowing to everyone. So much shukrana. I think these are the satsangs that I remember so far. Every day is a satsang. Um, the fact that I'm breathing is a satsang of its own. Um, you know, I'll share this, that your suffering is the biggest blessing um, by Maharaj, is the biggest blessing. The heart phases of your life, in fact, how he changes our perception, that's the true blessing. Maharaj um, blessed me to be heartbroken this year. It was someone that I absolutely loved, and more than ever, I have to say, because my relationship with Maharaj started, and the love is so pure, and you have this different mentality when you love another human being, especially as a partner. And I truly loved this person without any conditions. It didn't matter uh, what or who, or it didn't matter. But Maharaj gives his daughters to his chosen ones, and a lot of people I know are going through this today. That a lot of hardship in the relationship and things. And I remember when the relationship broke off, um, I didn't know why Maharaj is breaking this relationship off. Of course, it was through this relationship that he taught me never to ask for anything, because I was in Baramandir. I've shared this, I'm not going to go so much into it. I was in Baramandir in 2018, and Saint Guruji blessed me with this certain person, and he taught me to never do that. But also he blessed it to me. He could have not given it to me, but he knew that I had to go through that because I had certain karma. And later I realized, because of the dreams that he had shown me, it was past lifetimes with this certain person, and the debt has to be paid. But remember, I shared that it's not just debts that you owe to other people, but it's also debts that you owe to yourself. So when this relationship ended, I didn't understand. It's just nothing made sense. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I did everything that I could to my ability and beyond that, actually. Um, and Shukrana, whatever we do for him. And but it didn't make sense. And Maharaj broke it off. And so one day I sat with Guruji. I was howling. I was hurt. I was really hurt. And I said, Maharaj, why did this happen? And then suddenly that night, he shows me a dream of a past lifetime. He shows me a dream that I walked into a house. I opened the shower, the washroom of this house, the bathroom, and I saw a woman. So this was my house. I was in a relationship with this person in my past lifetime, but this person had a woman in our, you know, uh, let's be truthful. He was um, cheating with another woman. And it was in this dream, it was another woman in the and I walked in and I was like, it was so vivid, such a vivid dream. And the Maharaj told me that this happened in a past lifetime, this same learning. And I didn't understand, like, what cheating, like, this person didn't. This is one of the biggest satsangs of my life. And so anyway, a couple of days later, I'm sitting. I usually sleep around 10:30 at night. A couple of days later, Maharaj says, "Son, get up, go, drive to his house." And this was a house that we shared, and it was just a couple of weeks that we were separated, but the gentleman was still in touch with me. He would message me, especially during Guruji's birthday, because I consider Maharaj's birthday also the day that I was given life. So I consider that day my birth as well. Um, but of course, all celebrations are for Maharaj. And um, he kept messaging me, and he apologized for things that had happened. So, we were so full of his love that we want to just share. We don't hold on to grudges, shukrana to him. This is all him. So it was not no feelings of resentment or nothing. I was heartbroken because of what Maharaj had done. I didn't understand it, but Maharaj was trying to show me something that I didn't understand at that time. So this person came back and with a bouquet of flowers saying, "Let's go back, forgive me. let's forget it. But Maharaj had a different plan. One night I'm sitting after I had that dream. Then Guruji says, get up and go. And it was like 10 o'clock. I'm like, Guruji, I sleep at 10:30. Like, get up and go where? Get up. He gave me a vision of sitting behind the wheel and driving, vivid vision. You know, he takes you from where you are to a different dimension, to the future dimension. I saw myself. Moments later, I came, sat behind the wheel, and actually that happened in physical life. I drove to the house thinking in my logical mind, in my limited mind, that my foolish mind, thinking that Guruji wants to put us together. Like, this is his way of saying forgive, forget, move forward, love, not understanding that I've come to this lifetime for some other learning in this lifetime, which I'll share with you later. I mean, after this. But so I'm driving and I get to the house, and this is the same house of someone who was just few days ago at my house saying that you're the only woman I love, and I don't want to live without you. Maharaj has me at his house, and I ring the bell, and nobody's there, but the dogs are there. But anyway, so he says, put the code in the garage and go in. So I put the code in, I go to the house, and I see the TV's on, everything's okay, and I'm saying, oh, he's probably with his brother because his brother lives close by, and he's probably here, he's probably there, he'll come back. So I'll surprise him. And I mean, look at my thought and look at the blessing that Maharaj had for me. And suddenly Guruji says, go to the bedroom. And I'm going to the bedroom, and suddenly the energy shifted. Guruji says, you need to be strong for what you're about to see, son. You need to be strong. And I opened the door, and the rest is not really needed. No judgment. Everybody's on a journey of their own. And may Maharaj bless everyone with what is best for them. But what Maharaj showed me at that moment just shook me, like, to the core of me, that how is this possible that you are with another woman at this time, at this moment, 2 days later, 2 days before you said that. And then Guruji it's like he was wrapping me with his light. Like, I could feel Guruji hugging me. Like, it's okay, it's okay. I had to show you. Otherwise you wouldn't move forward. I had to do this. As hard as it is, everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. I felt my heart just, breaking in pieces. And I was shook. I came out, I just drove home, and I sat in front of Maharaj, like, how amazing are you that you saved me in this lifetime. And then he said, remember the dream I showed you? You didn't complete that in your previous lifetime. You put yourself down. Someone who was doing this, cheating on you and disrespecting you and not valuing the woman and the divine in you in a previous lifetime, you forgave. You came back in this life and you were about to do the same thing. And I had to show this to you. So through the divine book of Many Lives, Many Masters, Maharaj made it so clear that you don't come to pay debts only to yourself, but also to yourself. And in this lifetime, I had to learn to value myself, value the divine in me, because I'm always about forgiving others, just even those that disrespect me. And this is again before this learning. Those who don't value me, those who love me with condition, or not truly for the being that I am. And how Maharaj blessed me with another opportunity to come in this lifetime to pay that debt to myself. So I hope all these satsangs are made sense. It's all connected with the reading of Many Lives, Many Masters, the past life dreams that Maharaj has shown, relationship or not. I remember Maharaj showed me a past lifetime dream that I was standing with Maharaj in Dugri, but I was a man. So whatever, and in this book it's written that whatever divine knows that you need in your to assist you, to help you in this lifetime, those past life dreams will be shown to you. If you haven't seen them, it's not necessary for your journey to this day. tomorrow you might be shown. So a lot of people reached out to me after the reading saying, how come I haven't seen dreams? It wasn't necessary for you. And it's very clear in this dream that he says, Guruji, in fact, himself, he says that I choose what you see, what you're shown. For me, Maharaj had to show me so much um, from my past life in this relationship, but also with himself, to realize that when somebody asks me how long, let's say, you've been connected to Maharaj, he scolds me and says, do not answer that, because I only know how many lifetimes. And it was only once that Maharaj, in one lifetime, he showed me that I was sitting, with him walking in Durga Mandir, even though I've never physically in this lifetime walked in Durga Mandir. So all I can say with in my own journey up to this day, and I'll finish it. Thank you so much, After here. Thank you for being so patient with me. Um, all I can say, so what I've learned so far by Maharaj is follow each of his commandments to the dot. Because one day I said to Guruji, how do I truly thank you? He said, you can come and say thank you all you want to me, all you want. But if you're not following my commandments, it's all pointless to me. That's how my Sangha truly thank me, by following my commandments to the dot. That's how you thank me. Like for example, put it in your own. It's simple, right? Put it into your own relationship with your parents or your loved ones. You know, I can tell you I love you so much, and I care for you. But if I go and I hurt you, or I do things behind your back, uh, is that really, it's all talk. So Maharaj says, if you really want to be thanking me, follow my commandments to the dot. And that's what I've learned, to each day have an opportunity to thank Maharaj by following his commandments, not just by saying it, by doing the work, by doing it. And being easy with myself, being easy. I'm so, like, loving towards other people, and so accepting and so forgiving, but also do that to myself. Again, that's why I took form, I believe, in this lifetime, to give that debt, pay that debt towards myself. I really know that. Accept myself, however I am, wherever I am, and to really know that nothing is in my control. Nothing, nothing. And if Maharaj has put this whole satsang together, walking my feet to that church, blessing me with, bringing me into this body this time as an Iranian, but coming to me even despite the distance, and coming to me when he knew the student was ready in such a profound way that he can do anything. I don't need to chase anything. What's mine will come to me, just like how he came to me, just like how he walked my feet. What is yours will come to you. Um, whatever experience that he wants you to have, it will happen. Whatever he wants to enjoy through you, because ultimately he is in you. The more you connect to him, it's all him. The Guru is in you, and you are him. Of course, never forgetting that you are not him. I think we know what we mean. It's the energy that takes place, but he's always the supreme, and he's the doer, and he's all grace and praise. All praise belongs to him. But I've learned so much by Maharaj, and the biggest satsang is, no matter how much I talk, it's the inner world perception change. Loving my father, accepting him the way that he is. Or anyone can talk and say whatever, criticize, blame, do whatever they want. It's like music to me now. This is the biggest satsang, having no desire to react. Um, Somebody disrespected my mother. I didn't do anything. Maybe before Maharaj, I would have been like, it's my mother. How dare you? It's like, okay, Maharaj sees everything. I'm not here to punish. God does. And he's the best punisher. So let him do. Surrendering it all. It's not just with our own lives, but with everything, just truly surrendering it, letting him do what he does, flow in life, and uh, know that whatever is happening uh, by him. Everything is in his control, and love him with your heart. You don't need a swarup, you don't need anything. Everything is a tool. He's beyond that, and just love him with your heart. be with him every moment. The autobiography of Yogi says, you know, meditation is not necessary. You know, it's just remembering him in everything that you do, and whatever that you do, just remembering him is enough. You can sit in meditation days in, days out, but you get up and you don't remember him. It's like, you know, it's different.
Jai Guruji, San Bitia, you are not audible.
Jai Guruji, please forgive me.
Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji. Please continue.
I think that was cue from Maharaj to stop talking, son. My internet got disconnected. Sorry. So much shukrana to Maharaj. Thank you.
Jai Guruji, Guru Parivar witnessed a blissful, divine, and mesmerizing satsang from your dear son today. Really, thanks a lot. In the meanwhile, I'll be requesting Pooja Chopra auntie to say 2 words.
Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj, and Shukrana Sananti. And Sananti, the first time I saw your satsang was on YouTube before the pandemic, and you were in the car. And you know, the satsang I heard that day and the satsang I heard today, and Guruji Maharaj has, like, I can see such a evolved you know, soul, I will say, because that's what we are, you know, souls, you know, who are on earth. So it was so divine, and it, you know, it gives us a promise that if we connect to Guruji Maharaj, like how you've connected, our one-to-one connection, we can reach, you know, that place where we actually have to go, as per, you know, the autobiography of a yogi. And I'm waiting to read, though I've heard your the many masters, many lives, many masters. I want to read it, and I've asked for it, and they, you know, Ekta auntie and all will send it across. So thanks to whoever is the, you know, the sangat who's doing this seva. Shukrana Guruji Maharaj, I don't know, they didn't tell the name. So Shukrana, and Shukrana for such a blissful journey which you shared with us. And Shukrana to Shukrana Multilingual Facebook page and group, because this Suresh uncle is heading such a big task. I really don't know how he does it, and Guruji gives him this strength, and he manages all these, you know, all of us, I will say, including me, who was so difficult to handle. So Shukrana Guruji, Shukrana for giving such a beautiful Guru Parivar. We are so blessed. Thank you, Suresh uncle. Thank you. And Shukrana Guruji Maharaj, Shukrana again, Sananti. Suresh uncle, I will hand it over to you to say final Shukrana, please. Jai Guruji.
Thank you, Pooja auntie. Before we conclude, I'm requesting Arya Isar auntie to come over, please, for 2 minutes.
I would really like to say it was a really marvelous and wonderful satsang that you have shared with us. And I'm sure it has given all the Sangat a message, their answers, whatever they're looking for. It is a way of Guruji uh, telling us that he's always watching over us and he He's always there with us. And it was a really, really, really wonderful journey that he shared with us. And we are very, very, very blessed to hear it. As Guruji says, the one who hears it and the one who says, both are blessed by in the satsang. So now, Jai Guruji, I would like to request Usha Aunty to play the Guruji, Shukrana Guruji bhajan. Thank you, Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji. Now we'll play Shukrana. Jai Guruji Maharaj.
मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है, मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। ना मिलती अगर दी हुई दात तेरी, तो क्या थी जमाने में औकात मेरी। तुम्ही ने तो जीने के काबिल किया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मुझे है सहारा तेरी बंदगी का, है जिस पर गुजारा मेरी जिंदगी का। मिला मुझको जो कुछ तुम्ही से मिला है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। किया कुछ न मैंने, शर्मसार हूँ मैं। तेरी रहमतों का तलबगार हूँ मैं। दिया कुछ नहीं बस लिया ही लिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मिला मुझको जो कुछ बदौलत तुम्हारी, मेरा कुछ नहीं सब है दौलत तुम्हारी। उसे क्या कमी जो तेरा हो लिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मेरा ही नहीं तू सभी का है दाता। तू ही सबको देता, तू ही है खिलाता। तेरा ही दिया मैंने खाया पिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है।
जय गुरुजी संगत जी, अब हम सब आज्ञा ले लेंगे। प्लीज अनम्यूट एंड टेक आज्ञा। जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज।
जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी।
जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी।
शुक्राना